What's up, everybody? This is D from Brooklyn, and I know what you're thinking. You're looking at the tank and like, D, what the hell is going on here? But I'm about to tell you, I'm doing a complete redo. This tank has been super duper, super overgrown. This is all pothos, Java, Anubias. There's some guppy grass in there. It has just been completely overgrown to the fact that I don't even know what fish are in here. So we're gonna do a complete rescape. I'm taking you on for the ride. So let's go.
From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh ha ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh ha ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, but.
If you're not already a subscriber, click the subscribe button right here or in the comments below. Just leave me some comments. Let me know what you're thinking. If you're doing a rescape or a redo of your tank, let me know what's up. All right, let's get into it. So now what you'll see me doing here is just cleaning out tons and tons of pothos. I thought I'd speed this up and not drag you through the tedious process. But intertwined with this is tons of other plants. There's guppy grass, there's java fern, there's all kind of floaters in there. It's just kind of tedious. This is how much the pothos had rooted up and grown throughout the tank. There are an exceptional number of plants in this little 10-gallon. This is the better of 6 feet, and I haven't pulled half of it out. I'm sorry if you guys can't hear me too well. Maybe I'll do a voiceover or add some subtitles later, but I just wanted to take you along while I'm doing this work that many people are like, D, it's just grown so nice. I would have just left it alone, but I like to actually bring my fish indoors from outside as it's full now, and I'm just amazed at how much I can't even get some of these. Look at this. I can't get this is only a 10-gallon tank. This is about 20 feet of pothos stem at least. I can't even. Oh, look at this. My moss, my little mop breeder, maybe eggs on it. I better hurry up and try to get this back into some water just in case. Oh. An eternity later, there's actually roots inside the box filter. And all this box filter is a little filter floss. It is completely ridiculous how much pothos I have, and that doesn't include the main tank's pothos, because remember, this was supposed to be just a quarantine tank. There are tons of fry in there. I guess there were baby platies that had brought in there from some time ago. I left them alone and they had just been doing their own thing. I feed this tank very sparingly, which I'm going to have to increase since I'm removing so much of the probably biological filtration. This plant growth acts as a major source of filtration, so disturbing it can have an enormous impact on the tank. So you do have to be careful when you're breaking a tank down like this. But you can see that there's very little substrate there. There's a lot of moam. I'm not going to pull all that moam out. I'm going to let it settle, and just it's amazing how much plant growth. And if I even saved a little piece of this like this and put it back in there, it would grow back in probably a month. I may just put a little piece of this in there. The whole point is that I want to be able to see what's going on in there, and I just couldn't see anything in the tank. So you have no idea what's in the tank, and what's the point of a tank you can't see in. So I'm gonna clean up the glass a little bit and chime right back in. So give me a minute. All right, we are at the outdoor tub. I took a crap load of floaters out of this tub. If you don't know what floaters are, they're red roof floaters or regular, many types of floaters. There's water lettuce. There's so many varieties. I did not start these out here. They just kind of seed themselves every year, and I end up with a quadrillion yards, as you can see. I basically take them out by the handful just so that I could see. Actually, it looks like I just might have moved a bubble nest right there. I have some paradise fish out here which tend to bubble nest underneath this stuff. So I'm gonna put a ton of this inside the 10-gallon tank indoors, which is why I'm removing all the pothos. The only question is removing these outdoor plants, which have been living off good old Mother Nature's sunlight, and bring them indoors to fluorescent can usually cause a lot of dieback, which can bring down the water quality. So it's very important to test the water over the next couple of days as I do this. But I'm going to bring a lot of this indoors. I'm just going to take quite a few handfuls like this and bring them right indoors. There are some, I got some beautiful plants from K Tropicals. Oh man, sorry. I just got some stuff. I just see one of my koi swimming underneath. Let me just get some of this inside and get my hands cleared up. Let me throw some of this in here. I'm gonna try to have a little bit of rhyme or reason to it. And I may just bring my floating ring indoors so I can keep a area free. If you don't know what the floating ring is, you'll see that towards the end of the video. It's just a little ring that I put in the water to keep an open area so that I can actually see and feed the fish. Oh, as I was saying before my hands got soaking wet about a zillion plants, you can see I'm going to pull in some of the plants. You can see it's already nice and clear. Surprisingly enough, I don't even have a bag in there. The water is just settling out, and I added a few of the floaters in there as well as the mop, my little yarn mop to put back in there because I did have some killifish in there. As soon as I put my hands in there, they kind of disappear. I don't even know, since they're jumpers, they may have even jumped out. It's just so hard to see what's going on in a tank that's so overgrown. Shout out to KJE Aquatics. He sent me some beautiful plants I'm going to show you in a minute. They just took off in the pond, that tub outside. I'm going to bring some of those in here. And just kind of get this nice and open. I want to focus on seeing the fish, and I want to add all the floaters in here. Even if I have die off in the floating plants, I have more than enough to sustain it. I have my little beta project cup from when I was breeding betas, or trying to breed betas in here. I'm gonna move this over a little bit so that doesn't float off. And I kept the waterfall effect in here, which is kind of cool. Oxygenates the water, keeps everything kind of aerated and lively, so it's not stagnant, dead water. It's just awesome being able to actually see the fish in there. And it's going to be really overpopulated because I have quite a few fish I have to bring in from outside. It's going to be murder catching them, but more reason to do some film. Hey, look at that, the ice cream man. I hear the ice cream truck outside. Let's bring some more plants in. And it's getting colder outside. The temperatures are dropping into the 60s and 50s between night and day. So I'm going to start focusing on moving quite a few to fish indoors, which is why I needed to know what was in that tank. Even this, I did not plant anything in this. This was my floating breeding spot. And you can see, I don't know how plants are just growing over the side and getting in there. Look at this. I don't know why I zoomed in. Let me zoom out. Plants basically topping over the side and getting in there. It's funny. Nature finds a way. If you've ever had a problem with duckweed or anything like that, believe me, it is a entity of its own. All right, that's enough chatter. I see fry shooting past too. Wow, I almost threw out my thermometer. It was so much root growth. The roots were actually attached to the thermometer when I pulled all of those plants out. And just to show you how long things have been growing in there, look at this hole here. The pothos grew through the filter sponge into the filter and had embedded itself inside the filter. Look how pulling this out, it's completely grown inside the filter sponge. So I'm going to put that back in the tank because that's some valuable biological filtration. I'm going to get back into the tank. And just good job, everybody. Just look at how much pothos I took out of a 10-gallon tank. You could put this in a 55-gallon tank and completely fill it. I know it's a sin. I hate to toss that out. This stuff grows extremely fast. You could take a piece like this and completely start a whole new colony in a new tank, which I'll probably save some of this in a jar. But I really don't need a lot of it because I have a ton of it. And look at the roots on some of this. Amazingly healthy and green. So I'm almost finished with the tank. Let's get back inside. All right, well, you can see my little rudimentary, my bootleg divider. It's basically a pond floaty, one of those just floaty sponges I use. You saw the ring I had outside. I decided to do something a little more just straight to just divide the tank up so I can move it when I feel like it. And this is wedged in. Pressure holding it in place. It's not toxic. I've had it outside. I've had it inside tons of times before with no detrimental effects on the aquarium life. Now, what I am debating is whether I want to put any of this back into the tank. You can see how healthy it is. Very green. All I have to do is just put this little piece in there. In about a month, I have like 40 pounds of it again. It grows very quickly. You just remove the leaves, and this little end, which is white, will send out runners, or rather little roots, which become this. I'll put a little piece in there, and if it grows too fast, I'll just... And now it looks a little more natural, a little root growth. The roots absorb a lot of the nitrate and excess nutrients from the water. So I do like to have pothos just for that reason, but it can grow really, really quickly. And that's it. So, won't bore you with the replacing of the sponge and filter meter, but this I just stick right back in there. My biomedia, I put my carbon bag behind it once I change the carbon, and voila, we're back up and running. Well, everybody, I know it's been a while. I haven't filmed a lot. You know, life sometimes gets in the way. I did have some awesome updates on the saltwater tanks. I meant to send out quite a few weeks ago. They're on the editing room floor. I did get a corrupted file, so I had to try to reshoot a little bit of the footage, how I redid one of the nano saltwater tanks. So look forward to that coming real soon. If you like content like this, basic, boy next door, doing fish, trying to keep that budget under control, keep my sanity, keep my hands wet, dealing with the fish type of videos, then once again, click the subscribe button down there. If there's something that you want to see, if you have a question, leave them in the comments below. Check us out, the Brooklyn Aquarium Society. We meet the second Friday of every month, with the exception of October because we had some scheduling issues. But we are bent on helping the everyday hobbyists, young and old, stay into the hobby the best way they can and be successful, folks. So, till next time, this is D from Brooklyn. Love, peace, and hair grease. Keep your sanity by keeping the aquariums. Try to keep it on a budget because that'll keep you in the hobby. A lot of keeps. See ya.